Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wave Podcast, a podcast where anything can happen. Co-hosted by me, Jet. Hello, hi. And co-hosted by Echo. And
Hello.
each episode will take you on a journey through the cosmos of our minds, exploring the topics that interest us the most. From movies to video games, life stories to current events, there's no limit to what we'll discuss. We'll dive deep into our passions and share our perspectives with you. So fasten your seatbelts and get ready to ride the cosmic wave with us. Hello, Echo. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. I had leftover fish and chips for lunch today, so I am pumped.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you have some leftover fish and chips.
Yeah.
That is not what I expected the first things you were going to say on the podcast are going to be.
Boom. Don't you love it? You know, here at the podcast, we throw anything at you, you know, leftover fish and chips, you name it, we'll do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were really good, by the way. They were really nice. You know, you chuck them in the the oven. You know, get the crunch going. You know, take a nice bite. You know, good.
Thank you for explaining to me how to eat.
Yeah. No. I'm telling you how to eat fish and chips. See, it's different.
Wait, so you said leftover. Wait. Okay, so you put them in the oven. Is that the same thing like you would do for like pizza? You know, like instead of putting it in a microwave,
whoa.
You put it like in an oven.
No, for
like
leftover pizza, I just put it in the microwave and then I watch it spin and I'm like, oh, I set it for 1 minute and then it comes out and it's like hot, steamy and I go,
Okay. So you like to eat soggy pizza is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I like the normal pizza. I'll tell you the one thing I won't eat when it comes to pizza is cold pizza. I know a lot of people be like, I love cold pizza. And I'm like, hell no. Get that shit away from me.
You're so right. I hear that all the time that people will eat pizza cold. I had an ex-girlfriend in high school who did that all the time. I thought it was the weirdest thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's always something with pizza. Everyone's so different. Like some people eat it cold. I tried it cold because of that, and I didn't enjoy it cold. I can't do it. It always gotta be warm. But I do not put it in the microwave. I put it in the air fryer because it comes out crispier. And I don't like it all soggy like a microwave.
I mean, I don't mind the microwave.
Yes,
you know? I like that. I like that way as long as it's not cold.
No, I agree. I mean, I would prefer it microwaved over just cold pizza coming out of the fridge. Have you ever put salt on your pizza?
Huh? Why would I put salt on my pizza?
I know, right?
Who puts salt on their pizza?
No, I had another ex-girlfriend who put salt on her pizza. I didn't understand, but I tried it, and my mouth just was so disgusted with itself that I put salt on pizza because it just made it so like I felt like I had to smack my lips a lot because of that, and it's so weird. I swear, everyone's so different about pizza. That's like like pizza in itself is a personality test, honestly.
Oh yeah. Well, there's multiple layers. Like, what kind of pizza do you like? How do you how do you eat your pizza? Because I know people who use knife and fork with pizza, and I'm like, what are you doing? You just pick that shit up.
Weird.
Yeah, and then you have the salt incident with Jets, and then you have how you heat your leftover pizza up. You know, pizza is the perfect personality test. If you want to test who a person is deep down, give them a pizza. You'll find out then.
You're so right, because some people like to put hot sauce on their pizza.
Yeah.
Some people like to push that that crushed red bell pepper stuff on it, or that Parmesan cheese packets. At least those are things that pizza places have as an option. So that's like okay, understandable. But like putting salt on it,
that's weird.
That's weird. That's straight up weird. But I don't judge nobody. If you want to eat pizza, however you want to eat it. Okay, fine.
Yes. I'll take the normal pizza. You can have the salt pizza, people listening. It really doesn't bother me.
Yeah, exactly. I might look at you kind of funny if you're eating it across from me, but I mean, pizza.
If you're just tipping a whole packet of salt on your pizza, then you may get a look from me.
I might be a little worried for your what does that affect?
Your health?
Something about your health. I think it's your cholesterol. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. I don't know. I just flashed back to like this episode of have you ever watched Everybody Hates Chris?
No. What is that?
Damn, that's a classic here in America. Anyways, there's like this one scene where like so basically it's like this isn't what the episode's about, but like I mean this podcast episode. But Everybody Hates Chris is like this black family living in like the 60s, 70s, somewhere around that time, in
Okay.
like Brooklyn, New York. I think it was Brooklyn, and just kind of like going through that like lifestyle back then. And basically the dad, and they're like kind of like a lower class family, and the dad is like a cheapskate and this kind of stuff. You know, tries to save money and everything, but he has this like weird thing where he puts salt on everything. There was an episode about that, and there was like this like skit where it was like he was trying different foods and he kept saying like, need some salt. You know, he took a bite, need some salt on everything, and it turned into like the craziest
fruit?
like
What
stuff.
about fruit? Did he do it to
He
fruit?
probably did it on that too. Yeah,
believe
like
this. I
literally
can't believe
everything is like, need some salt. Like a piece of chicken, need some salt. You got a pizza, need some salt.
Ice cream, salt.
Ice cream, literally ice cream. So I think there was like a joke about that in the actual episode, but that show is so funny. But that's what I'm thinking about with because of the salt and the pizza thing.
It's too much salt, too much. It's gross. It's like how people have addiction to sugar and they just put sugar like in everything, you know. Because my dad is a perfect example of that he will put sugar like with him can go with just about anything. And I was like, Dad, you're crazy.
My dad's the same way with like hot sauce. He puts it like on everything.
He's crazy. Why people?
Yeah, no,
crazy?
for real. But you know, speaking of salt on pizza, I said that didn't offend me, but you know, it kind of peeves me off. You know?
Oh my God,
it peeves at me deep. You know, it grinds my gears. I think I have a pet peeve of people putting salt on pizza.
Oh, I think I got a pet peeve too, Jet.
Yeah, what's your pet peeve? Or are you just agreeing with me?
I'm just agreeing with you. Unless we're going to dive into the topic today, which is pet peeves. And for people who don't know what pet peeves means, we're just talking about things that tick you off, things that annoy you, things that make you just sink into your seat with disgust. Everyone has them. And they are, you know, they're completely random sometimes. They can be little things like someone tapping on a bus. Or it can be someone just drinking their coffee.
Breathing.
Just going, you know, just drinking a weed. Breathing. Oh my God, Jen, that reminds me of a clip I saw. There was a clip I saw on TikTok of this woman talking about her daughter and how her daughter, they don't know where her bad behavior came from and her attitude came from. And the husband just sitting there in the background all quiet like. And then she like turns to her husband and she's like, can you not breathe like that? Can you believe this guy? He's going, I can't believe this guy. So yeah, that was a little TikTok clip that I saw.
I find that so relatable. I hate it when some people breathe, dude. It's
What
so
are you
annoying
talking
the way
about?
No, legitimately. There are some times where it's like it could be dead silent and somebody's like breathing. Like you're in the waiting room at like the doctor's office or something, and somebody's just sitting there breathing in a funny way, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. And I know it's completely irrational, but that's what a pet peeve. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what a pet peeve is. It's like the actual definition of it is like a thing that's a particular person finds really annoying, and I don't think it has to be rational or irrational, but it's really it could be anything. Everyone can have their own specific pet peeves. I'm sure everyone listening, you probably have some pet peeves against people, or some things that people do, or particular things. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about those pet peeves. We're gonna talk about what pisses us off.
Yeah.
Echo, do you want to hear one thing that pisses me off?
It pisses me off or you off?
Your question is pissing me off.
Okay. The one thing that annoys me, Jet, is when someone walks in, like my room, and I have my little shelf of like my movies and games, and my movies and games and like everything it's all organized, right? I know where this stuff is, you know.
Alphabetically organized.
For games,
chronologically,
for games, they're ordered in order of release date. I know that sounds bizarre, but for my games, I order them from release date. Okay.
Wait, so like you could have like so like say you got like Star Wars games, right? So say you have like the original Battlefront and then Battlefront 2. They wouldn't be next to each other.
No,
they would literally be wherever they
are in that year and that date of the month. Yes. Because in my mind, I'm like, ooh, the graphics improved and the gameplay's improved, so it's less stiff. So I want to organize it like that. So, you know, if I want to play a game that has terrible graphics and it's hard to control, I'm going to go play this game. You know?
You get one from like the like furthest one back.
The early 2000s, yeah. And then I go all the way up to like 2020 and like, oh, damn, you know? So that's how I organize my games. And the same for my DVDs are not organized like that. They're like typically organized from like franchise, like in the order of the timeline in that franchise or whatever. Or like Harry Potter or Star Wars or stuff like that. Okay? But what annoys me is now my family is bad.
Your family, that's what annoys you?
Yes. Just in general, yeah.
Oh.
But what annoys me is when family or friends, they come over, they're looking at my selection, they pull something out. Now, the second someone touches one of those, like, my games or DVDs, my eyes and my whole head just turns very slowly to look at them. I just stare them down. And I'm like, oh, you better remember where that goes. You better remember where that shit goes. Because I have a photographic memory and I will be checking that shit. So then we play the game. And then we pull out, sometimes I pull out multiple games, because you want to play a couple different games. And then I see them be like, here, let me put them back for you. And I'm like walking out the room. I'm like turning back. I see them put them in the spots. I see that shit. And the second they leave, I'm like, bye, thanks for coming. I like close the door and I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. And I walk over to my shelf and I look at my shelf and I'm like, this is a disaster. Now I have to look up the date for when the game was released and reorganize it. So yeah, that's my first pet peeve, and it really triggers me. My brother's done it before, my mom's done it before, my best friends have done it before. Like, goddamn. The random little girl who comes over and you gotta take care of. She's done it before. Like I just want to yeet them out the window.
You mean like you're babysitting someone?
Yeah. Or the mom comes over to hang out with my mom and there's like just a little girl that just shows up. And you just watch her.
I'm glad you're giving some more context to that because that sounded really weird at first.
Because it's like a family friend and they can't because the kid's only young. They can't just leave it all out in the open world to defend itself. So it follows the mother.
I mean, I guess we can't do that yet. That'd be kind of cool. Pit little kids against each other in like a stadium, like a colossal.
Oh yeah, little battle.
A coliseum. Yeah, exactly. That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, I love how specific your pet peeve is. The more specific, I think, the better. Because it's like, it's so unique. It's not something that everyone can relate to.
I doubt anyone can relate to my one right there. Like, I don't think anyone else is like that.
I'm sure people can relate to things. You having a way you like to organize things and people messing up the way you organize it.
Oh, yeah.
But not to the degree of you having games set by year of release.
And month. Don't really
we just released it, yeah. And that, when you said that first, I was like, that sounds so weird. And how the hell do you keep that organized? But then I think about it, and when you mentioned the graphical change, I was like, that's so true. You can kind of know, kind of cool.
And by the feel of the game, right? You know if a game's old, and if a game's new. But
it's also like, what if you're looking for a specific game that you want to find? You have to look around through everything.
But you can think of the era. If you're like, oh, I want to play this particular game, and you're like, hang on a second, this game kind of has gameplay like this, or the graphics were not best anymore, so you go to that particular era on the shelf.
Okay, I guess I can see that. Okay, you know what? I like that.
You're crazy.
I think you are kind of crazy, but no, I like that. Okay,
what's yours?
I'll give you one of mine.
Yes.
I'll give you one of my pet peeves. I notice this a lot when I go to the gym. All right, and this is a totally irrational pet peeve. It's something that annoys me for some reason, but it has no effect on me. It doesn't affect me whatsoever, except being able to see, which I guess is something that I do. But let me ask first. Do you go to a gym?
No.
Well, maybe you can't relate to this.
I can't relate to this. But all the gym people out there.
Right. Actually, yeah, maybe. And so you imagine a gym, right? And you think about what you would see at a gym, the equipment, the people there. Okay, think about the people. So most people you see there would be wearing gym clothing. You know what I mean? Like something like stretchable, breathable. Shorts, tank top, or just something like that. Right? Tennis shoes. I hate it when I see people come into the gym wearing baggy jeans. And these work boots and Like it just doesn't make sense.
Like they didn't prep themselves for the gym. They just showed up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you are gonna you could injure yourself by like wearing restrictive clothing like that. You could also ruin your clothes doing that because it's not like stretchy material like most like gym clothing is. I'm trying to think of like spandex is not like part cotton part span. No, polyester. Polyester. That's what I'm thinking about. A lot of gym clothing. Yeah, a lot of gym clothing is polyester because it's breathable, it stretches, or it's like a mix of like polyester and cotton. And it's like that's what you wear because it moves with you. You're not going to like rip anything because it stretches. And I hate seeing people come at the gym and just what are you wearing? I mean, I get it. You can wear what you want, I guess, but it's like I understand why some gyms have dress codes because that's something I never understood a long time ago when I first started going to the gym. That like there are specific gyms that have like, oh, you have to be wearing like a certain dress code, and I never understood that. Now I do. Mine doesn't have a dress code. Yeah, I totally get it now, and because I mean, I guess it'd also be like a liability thing for each gym, and like if someone does end up like tripping because they're wearing like baggy jeans,
or wearing like a dress or something, and just whoop.
Right, and it's like, what are you doing? And I'll give it. It's usually guys that I see coming into the gym wearing these like jeans, boots, and like some sort of like shirt. And it's like, what are you doing? I've even seen some people there wearing like nicer clothing, like khakis and like a polo, and not even like a sports polo, just like a regular polo, which I guess are kind of stretchy. They're mostly cotton, but it's like, what are you doing? It, for some reason, makes me just irrationally angry. So I don't know why.
So if one of those people like came up to him like, hey, how you doing? You just wouldn't want to talk to them? You'd be like, get away from me.
Yeah, I'm doing a thing, and then they're just walking by like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm doing good. As they walk by and like their backs to me, I'm just like giving them the death stare, like, you fucking son of a bitch. You're filth.
They just sit down and then you hear Jay, you're just shouting, you're like, freak, and then like, huh? And you're just like, nothing.
Yeah, like I said, I don't get why it makes me angry, but or like, I don't even want to say it makes me angry. It just annoys me. Which is what a pet peeve is. So yeah, there you go. It's a pet peeve that I have that makes no sense. It just makes me annoyed.
That's fair. Well, Jay, you know what? I have another pet peeve, Jay. Pet peeve. And this one may be, I think, one of my biggest pet peeves. The pet peeve is just simply logic. When logic flies out the window, if you're having a conversation with me, or you're talking, and then you say one thing, and the next thing you say another thing, and that next thing doesn't make sense, and it contradicts the previous statement, that triggers me big time. I get so frustrated. I literally just want to grab the person and shake them, and just be like, you're not making any sense. You're talking about one thing, and now you're talking about another thing, and this new thing is contradicting your previous thing that you said. Okay. Doesn't that trigger you when you're having a conversation with someone and then it's just like, oh, I'm not really into the movies. Next thing you know, they're like, hey, do you want to go to the movies? And I'm just like, you just, I
love how like passionate this is turning.
Doesn't that actually annoy you though when someone does something like that? When logic flies out the window, you have to remind the person of what they previously said, and then they come up with some half-ass excuse being like, oh yeah, I don't like the movies, but I want to do something. I'm just like, then you could do absolutely anything else. Why are you saying you want to do the thing you don't like? You make no sense.
Maybe they're just saying they wouldn't prefer to do it, but they would be okay with putting up with it. If like someone doesn't want to go see the new Mario movie, and it's okay.
They made their choice when they said they don't like the movies. They can't go back and change their thing, because it doesn't make any sense. And my mom has this problem all the time. And I mean, all the time.
You're coming after your mom now.
I love you, Mom. But she has a problem all the time.
Okay, because I was gonna say I followed you for the most part there because I am very much a person of logic. I'm always more of like do what makes sense, versus emotion. That's always the kind of person I've been.
Oh yes,
And
I'm the same.
I've gotten shit for that so many times. I'm not saying like I'm emotionless and I don't think about people's feelings or anything like that. Because there are some times where emotion, yeah, you need to be more emotionally invested
Yeah.
or just emotionally present. And there are times where you have to be more logical and do things that make sense. And sometimes that line's a little blurry. It just depends on whatever
And on the
situation you're in.
person, really, as well, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Because
yeah.
certain people care about certain things more than the other person would understand. You know,
Yeah.
so it kind of blurs the line. It's up to what the person believes in, really.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, every situation is different. Whether it's like do you think something logically or emotionally, it just depends on the situation. I'm just more of a logical person in general, and I've gotten so many. Like I remember a long time ago, like I don't know why I keep bringing up ex-girlfriends on this episode. What the fuck? It's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve. But there was an ex-girlfriend who always was like, "Oh, Mr. Logic over here," because I always do things that make sense. And that's the thing I always say. I'm like, "Oh, well, this makes sense, or this is logical. Why don't we do it this way?" And it's not so. That's not even like for a big thing. It's just like making a decision, like, "Oh, hey, where should we go to eat?" And it's like, oh, they don't feel like doing this fancy food. They're like, how about just fast food? And I'm like, okay, how about this place? It's on our way back. And it's like, no, how about we go over here?
Oh
That's
my
like
God.
further away and is fancy. Then it's like, but what did you just say? Also, it's on our way back, so it's more convenient. Why don't we just do it this way? That's not a personal experience or anything. It literally is like a made up scenario, but it's totally something I can see happening.
Oh yeah, I could see that happening to me as well. I'm pretty sure I would
Right?
fall the exact same way. I'd be like,
Yeah.
hey, let's go to this place, because it
Yeah.
makes sense. It's on the way back. It's easier. It's more convenient. It's when things
But yeah,
it's when things don't make sense that triggers me.
yeah, no, I'm very much with you on the same boat with like logic and when people don't use logic, it really annoys me
Yeah,
because I need things that make sense.
yeah. But most of the time when people do that, it's like it's like out of emotion, like because most people, they act out of emotion, less logic and more kind of like what they're feeling at the time
Yeah.
or whatnot. And I get that, like I fully understand that, but I'm just saying. Gotta be a little bit of logic to it,
Yes.
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 A little bit, like I'm not fussed. I'm just saying, if things aren't making sense, or it's like when you get into an argument with someone and you start to notice like little flaws in the argument, not on your side but on their side, how they say one thing and then they say a next thing and it contradicts the thingy bob they just said, and it just makes me more frustrated. But I've been in arguments before where I'm just like, oh yeah, I understand where you're coming from fully, and then yada yada yada, and then it's like, no, you don't, and I'm just like, I do. You just told me everything, and I experienced something the same, and they're just like, no, you didn't. And I'm just like, I just told you I did. What do you mean?
Right. Or at the very least, it could be something that's like a similar experience where it's like, okay, I can get where you're coming from, even if not totally the same. It's similar, and you're basically trying to show that you can be there, like emotionally, and it's still being logical. But like, yeah, some people do just kind of like use more of emotion to like not even make a point. It's more like they kind of just want to get whatever is happening off their chest or something, or just complain about it, which is totally okay sometimes. Sometimes people just got to do that. You just got to say what you want to say. If you want to complain because it feels good when something's happening.
100%.
That's totally, yeah, right. That's totally good and fine. And if you're somebody else on the other side, it's like who's like us, logical and stuff. Then it's like, I think logically we know we just gotta let them. We gotta let whoever.
You just gotta let them have their moment. Let it out.
Exactly. Let them let it out.
Exactly. But I've been in scenarios like, okay, I'm gonna tell you this one scenario. Okay, Jen. So someone wants to they want to go somewhere. They want to go be like, oh, we should go to this place, and then they're just like, oh, it's too much money, and I'm just like, well, you know what? Why don't we go to this place instead. And they're just like, no, I don't want to go to this place. I want to go to this place. And I'm just like, okay, well, how about instead of doing all these things at this place, we narrow it down so our budget gets smaller so we can do it. And it's like, no, I want the full experience. And I'm just like, well, okay, I guess we can't go then. And they're just like, I wish there was a way that we could go, even if it was just for a little bit. And I'm just like, did you just hear what I just said? I said cut the experience. We don't have to do all these things at this place. If we, it's like, you say it's like a festival or something, or it's like a, or like a theme park or something, we don't have to go on every single ride. And they're just like, sure. No, I want to go on all the rides. And I'm just like, okay, we can't go then because we don't have the budget for that. And then you walk away and they're just like, are you sure there's no way we can go? And I'm just like, I will repeat my previous statement.
At that point, it honestly just seems more like a, hey man, you want to pay for me?
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds more like, to be honest. Yeah. Like they're trying to coerce you into.
No, it's funny, Jet, because I actually did say that. And this is turning into a real scenario right now. But I was like, do you want me to pay? And they're just like, no. I'm just like, I'm happy to pay. And they're just like, no. I'm just like, okay. And then you walk away and then they're like, but and I'm just like, what? No. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna pay. And then all of a sudden they're just like, no, I'm not going. I'm just like, but I'm saying I can pay for free. He's like, no, I don't want to go anymore. And then you spend the next 30 minutes having a conversation and being like, I'll pay for it and all that. And then they agree. And then they get angry at you because you're paying. And then just like, oh, you can't win. They're upset with you because, you know what? Anyway, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
It's turning too real. My pet peeve is turning too real.
That's so funny, but that's great. I love it when it gets passionate because there's more anger, more hate.
Yeah. Suck it up, people. That's the way to the dark side. Come on.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's the way of the dark side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you, Jay? You got another one? Now?
There was a thing that literally I woke up to this morning, and I was going through TikTok. And I saw this thing, and I don't know how to describe it as a pet peeve, but it was something that got under my skin. So I guess in a way, it got under my skin, like it made me angry, maybe a little bit, but I feel like it'll still go into like the logic thing. But okay, okay. So here's what it was. Okay, I was scrolling through TikTok, and I watched this like clip of another podcast actually. It was like 3 people, and it was, they were talking about, what the hell are they talking about? I have it on my notes. Hold on. Okay, so basically, one of the hosts asks, should guys chase? I think that's what the question was. Yeah, should guys chase? And what that means is like, should a guy chase after a girl or whoever they're interested in?
Yeah.
Right, and that was one of the younger guy asking, because there's like a younger guy, younger girl, and a little bit of an older dude. Not like super old. I'm just like a couple years older, I think. Mm-hmm. And the younger guy asks, should men chase? The older guy says no, and like goes into this whole thing about like how men don't chase, you shouldn't chase, and the right woman will come to you. If you chase, it's just gonna lead you to be more emotionally dependent on people, and this and that. And it made so much sense. I was like, this guy literally is thinking the same way I think. I agree with him 100%. And then like the younger dude and the younger chick were like laughing at him. And we're like saying like, so you're basically saying you get no bitches. And it's like, that's not what he's saying. It literally sounds like he's speaking from experience. And he literally makes all the sense. And there in the comment section was literally all on this dude's side. They were saying like, this guy makes so much sense. Sounds like he's experienced. He knows what he's talking about. Oh, this man's definitely had a heartbreak or something like that. And it's like, it makes so much sense. But these people were laughing at him and saying like, you're like, it's stupid. You get no bitches and that kind of stuff. And I was like,
damn,
what the hell? That's so stupid. So I guess what I'm trying to say is young people piss me off. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I guess people who just don't try to listen to logic, and try to sound like a fuckboy, basically.
Yeah, I think it's like to back off to backpedal off that. I legit think it's something to do with people who are so stuck in their way and do not want to open their mind to new experiences is something that really bothers me, because those people sound like they were so set in stone. Like there was nothing you could say to convince them, because they are not open to anyone else's opinion but their own. And their way, like, so it kind of reminds me of my mom once again. So my mum is so locked in her era of doing things. Like, you know, she barely knows how to use a computer, you know, and she's like, I can't learn this stuff. It's impossible, you know, and then you come up and you teach her, and then you show her, and she does it, and then I'm like, look, you can do it, you know, then you walk away. Then 5 minutes later, she calls you back, and she's like, my email's not working. I clicked enter, it didn't work. And then I'm just like looking at the screen, and I'm looking at my mom, and I'm like, Mom, you just did it. Just take a look at the screen. What's missing? My password's not in it. I'm just like, what does that mean, Mum? She's like, oh, I gotta type it in. I'm like, yeah. See ya. So it's stuff like that. Because I know that I love my mum, but she refuses to, you know, try and learn this stuff. She doesn't want to learn it. She's like, I don't need this, you know. The second you boys move out, I don't need technology. And I'm just like, sure, Mum, whatever you say.
Yeah, it's totally not what the world revolves around.
Yeah, basically. It's totally not where the direction of everything is heading.
Oh, yeah, literally. I mean, I think even if people aren't like experts at using technology, you should know how to use some of the basic things, like emailing. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a pretty basic thing that a lot of people need for signing up on stuff, and just overall like business, or even just, yeah, I mean, fuck, what the hell do people use email for? I mean, you use it for a lot of things.
Exactly.
I'm blanking right now, but there's literally so many things you use
everything. Literally everything. Pretty much. Jet.
Yeah, everything you sign up for needs an email. But yeah, no, I think that like story, I kind of, what we're both still saying is we're still like on the logic thing. I feel like we both have a big logic thing, because like with the guy, like that I was saying before, it was like he just sounded very logical in the way he was explaining things, and the way you're saying is like it sounds very logical to like know how to do some simple tasks for technology. You know, technology is a thing that's always going to be advancing. You'll always need to know a little bit of it.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't realize it, but some people are better with technology than they even think. You know, like older people are better than they actually think. Because even if they didn't start with it, it's still something they learned how to use, and it's just very modern. That it's just like driving a car. You just kind of do it, and it comes naturally. Oh yeah. And really, it naturally starts progressing. I mean, but do you have any more personal pet peeves? Because I have a list of general pet peeves. If you want to go over those.
The only I can think of like one more. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to word it, how to like turn it into words.
Words.
So basically, when you're doing, so you know, say you're doing something, you know, you're just having a good time.
Okay, I'm doing something. I'm robbing a bank. Okay.
You're robbing a bank. You know, you're having a good time. You know, and then you know you got your friend next to you, and then your friend starts doing stupid shit, and you turn around and you're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? You're like, what are you doing? And then they start annoying you, and they start, you know, they're being rude to you and mean to you for no reason, and you're just like, we're supposed to be robbing a bank here together. We chose to do this task together. Why are you being all mean and stuff, you know? And I'm particularly not the person to say, you know, just like, can you be a little bit less of that, you know? Because I don't want to hurt the person's feelings, you know, or whatever, you know. I'm just I don't get.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm cool with hurting the bank teller's feelings.
Yeah, I'm cool with robbing this bank, but I don't want to hurt you, you know. But we're here to rob a bank. But you know, it's when people. Have you ever been in a scenario, Jet, where you're hanging out with someone, you know, and they're like, you're hanging out with them because they wanted to hang out, and they're kind of giving you a hard time, you know? They're like even though they're not saying it, you get the vibe that they have it out for you for some reason, even though you haven't really done anything. Like, you personally feel like you haven't done anything, but this person is just angry and upset with you for no reason. That's what annoys me. Because then when you pull them aside, you ask what's up, and they say, oh, nothing's wrong. I'm just like, so you just being an asshole for being an asshole? Like, what's going on here?
So I was actually just about to make a half serious, half joking joke about like, oh, sounds like all my past relationships being mad all the time for no reason. But like, no, what you just said actually though makes me think of like there are times like, and usually I think people would see this like when they're in a relationship with somebody, but it can happen literally with anybody. How, yeah, you come to somebody, or even if you're not hanging out, you see this person, maybe you see them like on college campus, maybe you see them at work, and you're usually all good and stuff. And one day they're just like cold. They give you the cold shoulder, or they're just acting strange to you, or it seems like something's wrong. You ask them, "Hey, what's wrong? You know, what's going on? You okay?" And they don't. It's like they don't want to talk about it, or they're just saying like, "No, I'm fine. You know, but I just don't have energy today." Blah blah blah. And it's like that's like the most basic excuse. Like, "Oh, I'm just tired. Didn't get much sleep."
Yes.
And sometimes that can be it, sure. But like most of the time, it's really like it's something's wrong. They don't want to talk about it. And like I was saying, like if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're kind of like that, you do want to know what's wrong with them, because that's part of like a relationship. You want to know. So like if you pry, it's like you pry because you care, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes that person can think that you are prying and being annoying, or like you shouldn't be prying. But it's like you should be, and you shouldn't feel bad about prying because you want what's best for them. Sometimes, sure, it's okay to be like, maybe we can talk about it later, or something like that, or, okay, you don't want to talk about it now. That's fine. If you want to talk about it, later, or whenever you feel ready to, that's totally fine. I'm here to listen to you whenever you want. But just know I'm worried about you. And I feel like there's still a level of cohesiveness where the person can still say something like, I appreciate that. Yeah, we can talk later. But it's like sometimes people speak in a way that's so, just bluntly putting it, very bitchy,
Yeah, and you're like, why do you deserve it? Like,
right,
because
exactly.
you wanted to help them. You're like, hey, if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. If not, that's fine. I'm still here. And they're just like,
yes,
like, why would I want to talk to you? And you're just like, okay, that's fine. Then don't talk to me.
No, right.
Now
I'm like picturing like a past relationship in my mind, and it's like, there are some things that it's almost like the person is trying to cause a problem.
Oh my god! Yes,
cause
Jeff.
it.
They want to have a fight with you, and you're just like,
right.
But I don't want to fight.
Yes, exactly. It's like you're being pulled into it.
Yeah,
that's would that be a pet peeve?
Or
are we deviating?
I feel like we're deviating. Jay, you talking about your exes. This is talking about exes now.
It's turning more. It went from like pet peeves to more like just airing dirty laundry. Is that the term? I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, that's still kind of a pet peeve. People having an attitude with you for no reason.
Yes, I mean that is a pet peeve. Because there's only so much someone can take.
Oh yeah. I mean, even if it's not a pet peeve and we're deviating a little bit, maybe somebody out there needed to hear that.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, Samantha, listening. Come on.
Yeah, listeners, come on.
Think about it for a second, Samantha. Think about it for a second.
Don't call it Samantha. Not Samantha. No, not her. Samantha, I'm super sorry.
Caleb is listening.
Not Caleb. All right, reeling it back in a little bit. I do have a list of like overall people's general pet peeves, and the first one on the list is something that I experienced the other day, and I was getting pissed off. Let me tell you. The first one on this list is loud chewing, or people that chew with their mouths open. And you're like, nom, 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 nom. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like the other day, I was going over to a colleague of mine, and I was asking for something. I don't remember. I was asking for them to send me something, or for them to explain something to me, and it's like they just put like candy in their mouth, and then as they were talking, they were talking while chewing, and I was standing there, and I am a very I would definitely say, and I think a lot of people would say, a very calm person, despite how I seem online. Despite how I seem online, very frantic and stuff. In person, like in a professional setting, I'm very calm, professional, not loud and crazy. And I don't do things that I don't have a tell that shows that I'm getting annoyed. But God, I was starting to move my fingertips, and I was starting to tap my foot, and because I was getting so annoyed, and I felt it. I felt like it was starting to show a little bit. So I had to tell myself that in my mind, and I was like, breathe, reel yourself back in. And people chewing is really annoying. Or eating with the mouth open, talking while chewing, whatever. Super annoying. I hate it. What do you think?
To me, it doesn't really bother me that much. You know, I don't
Really?
know. Yeah, I told you my toleration of things that kind of push me over the edge that annoy me is very low. You know, only the things that I mentioned about the logic and my stuff being a certain way it's pretty much the iceberg of it. Yet, you know, if someone's chewing really, I mean. Was the one time with my brother. But besides that, chewing doesn't bother me that much, you know, unless it's my brother at the table. He's just going, nom, 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 nom.
So
I'm just
even if like somebody's walking next to you or something and they're chewing gum and they're like nom, 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 like super super loud and with their mouth open, that doesn't bother you?
see, the thing is, if that really affected me, I would just stop. I just stop and let them walk by, and then I'll be like, continue. You know, before anything bothers me, I normally come up with the solution in my head. Like when I see, like it's like in my head, I like picture like the sun rising. Like, oh god, the sun's about to rise. I need to get into darkness. I need to and like run to the cave. You know, Jet. Right. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good. You know, so it doesn't bother me.
Wow,
I
I'm
always,
surprised.
yeah. I don't know. I'm just my brain trained me that way. Wait,
I mean, I'm
brain,
usually.
yeah.
I mean, I'm usually the same way. Like nothing really bothers me. Nothing gets under my skin. I'm very easygoing. But there are some just things that people do that just like in my mind I find really annoying. But like I said, I don't really have a tell. I don't really show it. People don't know if I'm getting annoyed and stuff like that. And I partially think working retail for as long as I did made me that way. Like it's in my head that I'm just like, you stupid bitch. But like on the outside, I'm very calm and professional because I've handled my
I feel the
way
same
more
way.
than fair share of people. Right. So I feel like maybe that kind of leads into that reasoning for us having like a high threshold for peeves and stuff like that.
Yes. Oh yeah. What's another one on the list, Tuja? What's another one on the list?
Let's see. I feel like this one is going to be a peeve for you. I really do.
Oh,
right,
okay.
Number two on the list is when people are late or make you run late because you're waiting for them. Yeah? Get mad? You mad that I had to make you wait 10 minutes to get on to record this podcast?
Not really, no. Not really.
No, I was waiting for you.
Oh, did that bother you, Jet?
No, it really didn't. It was actually,
okay.
It was like totally fine. No.
Yeah, stuff like that doesn't bother me because if I was like going to hang out with someone and they were like, oh, I need 2 more hours. I can't hang out right now. And I'm just like, oh, okay, sure. That's okay. I'll go keep doing my thing.
But that's if they tell you though. You know, what if it was like a thing that somebody consistently was late to like a social event that you guys like you're hanging out with all the friends and this person's like, oh, yo, can I catch a ride with you? And like, sure. And then they're running late to get ready. So it's like you gotta wait on that text for them to tell you to come pick them up. And it's like, oh yeah, just give me like 5 more minutes. All right, sure. Oh, give me 5 more minutes. Oh yeah, sure. Text me when you're ready. And it's a consistent thing. Every time you hang out, it's like they make you wait forever. You know, you wouldn't find that annoying?
I would find it annoying because I feel like I just adapt and I would recognize that person being like taking 10 minutes and I just arrived 10 minutes late and then be like, let's go. You know, I feel like, yeah, I'd see that wouldn't bother me. That wouldn't bother me.
Damn, you do have a high threshold. I mean, that wouldn't annoy me, but I'd be like,
you'd be like, come on, why don't you just get rid of earlier or just tell me to come later? Is that
yeah. No, definitely. And I feel like I would kind of be the same way where I would systemically kind of have a process where it's like, all right, they want me to pick them up today. All right, cool. I don't got to get ready for like an extra plus 20 minutes until I have to start getting ready to actually go pick them up. I would totally do that too. So, okay. You know what? The next one on the list, actually I'm skipping one because it was basically the same thing.
Okay.
Number 4, and this one annoys me.
Oh shit. Okay.
People who scuff their feet as they walk down the street. Well, for some reason, this says especially if they're wearing Uggs, but I just mean people who scuff their feet. So, like, do you know what that means?
No, what?
Okay, so you know when you walk, you lift one leg or one foot over the other. You kind of just walk like normal.
Yeah.
This is scuffing your feet is like not like you drag, but it's almost like you slide your feet when you take a step. Like every step you make is so noisy, and it's like, oh, it's hard to describe. I feel like it kind of describes it there. Scuff your feet.
So just kind of like just like going on the ground, like not taking a full footstep, just being like dragging your foot kind of along the ground.
Kind of, yeah, right, exactly. Like you can hear them, like, yeah. Normally when people walk, you don't really hear it except for like the clip the step. But this is more like it's like they're dragging their feet almost. It's kind of hard to it's like half steps. It's hard to explain, but it's so noisy and it's just I think a lot of things that are very like audio wise annoy me. I'm starting to notice that people breathing, people scuffing their feet, chewing. I think it's a lot of things that like are listening type stuff that annoys me. I'm starting to learn.
What about when a mic is popping? Does it bother you when the mic be popping?
You mean like if they don't have a pop filter? Is that what you mean?
Like say if you listen to your recording or like anything and the mic's just popping.
Oh, I mean, yes, because if I'm recording something or streaming something or something, then yeah, if it's in the audio, it messes it up. So yeah, that would definitely annoy me. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Jed, you want to know what annoys me, Jed?
I feel like you're gonna bring up my Detroit Become Human stream.
What?
My audio was popping.
No. What annoys me is when you go to edit something and then it gets copyright striked again. Sorry, random pet peeve in the background.
I saw that on my phone. I got a notification too, and I didn't want to say anything, but I also thought the same thing about
that. Annoys me was when you edit original content. It's the same stupid scene again. Sorry, random pet peeve. We're bringing it back in. Continue.
This isn't on the list, but I just thought of something. It might be controversial. Not really.
Okay.
Maybe amongst the youth.
Oh.
Do you have like those friends that you hang out with and it's like there's that one person in the group who always is like, oh, let me hit my dab pen, or oh shit, I gotta go hit my vape really quick. Or they always have to like bring that around, and they basically, I guess, like people who vape.
Okay,
and are very like vocal about it. Like they're like, oh yeah, this guy's new fucking C920 coil for my vape. Oh yeah, I modified it. Yeah, dude. Oh, want to see me make the letter O with my fucking vape? Yeah. Want to hotbox this fucking car? Or like, oh, I gotta go hit my dab pen. And it's like, I don't care that you do that, but the fact that you make it your personality, come on, dude. Stop it. Come on. What are you, fucking 17? I don't know why that actually peeved me.
Well, Jed, funny enough, that doesn't that doesn't annoy me. I've known someone like that, and I've been like, oh, okay.
See, I think we all have.
Do the thing. Good luck. Have the fun. Bye. And I'm just talking about my friends. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. It's just like, why you gotta make it your personality, dude? Like,
oh yeah, that kind of sucks when then you're just the vape guy, He's
no, like literally, yeah. It's like there's always like a guitar guy, and it's like, oh, play Wonderwall. It's like the same thing, People find that person annoying. It's the same thing with this, and it's like, if I knew you in high school when you did that, I get it. Sometimes it's just a phase. Like I've known so many people that did that in high school. And then it's like, oh, that's it. It was just face. And now it's like people who still do it and they're like, oh, yeah, man, look at me. I'm working at a vape shop. It's totally cool. Totally rad, man. Oh, you want to go skateboarding later by the mall? And it's like they're living in the past. I don't know why I'm calling people that, like, if you vape
I can feel
or whatever, maybe a little bit, honestly. I don't know why. I have never had an actual bad experience with anybody like that. But for some reason, I'm thinking about it and it's like annoying me. Man, I guess things peeve me off that I don't really think about. Maybe I just don't make it vocal in the moment, and now it's like coming out. But if you do that stuff, it's totally cool. Like I don't mind it. It's just, I guess if it's in the friend group and they're just like always talking about it, it's like, can you talk about something else, please? Be interesting.
Give me something else to work with here. Not that.
Yeah, literally. But no comments on that.
No. That's so it doesn't really bother me. Like, it's fine.
Okay.
You want to make vaping your personality? Make vaping your personality.
I guess we all do need that person that vapes to be that person in the group. Oh, fine. You play a vital role in the group. I guess I can't be too critical on you. You're valid. Okay, you're valid. You got a title and everything. I think here's another one that I think you kind of mentioned earlier. The feel of chalk.
Oh yes, see, that's the thing. I don't mind the feel of chalk, but when someone's writing on a chalkboard, that gets to me. I've been in a scenario where I've been in class and someone's there's a chalkboard and they're like drawing on the chalkboard, and I could feel myself get like oh
yeah.
Same with styrofoam. You know the white stuff?
Oh yeah, styrofoam.
I do
yeah,
not like the feel of it. I do not like the sound of it when it breaks. I do not like it when people like run their fingers across it and you like hear the shh. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that.
It's just like sand. It's coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere.
Yeah. Not like you, Jet.
What?
I was just that was the rest of the dialogue of the scene. There's more to just.
Okay. I'm about to say I'm not coarse, I'm not rough, and I don't get everywhere. What are you trying to say? Get no bitches? You're right. Anyways, next pet peeve: people who call me out for not having any bitches.
No, so you
I say as I've. Huh?
You get all the ladies. This was, I feel like we brought up 3 different ladies in this podcast today.
You know, the funny thing is, yeah, you're right. I didn't think of that. Anyways, let's see another one that. Here's a pet peeve. I think it kind of relates to the vaping thing a little bit. People who discuss being on a diet while you're in the middle of eating something unhealthy. It's like someone. I guess maybe it's how the same as vaping. I didn't read the full thing before I actually said that.
Yeah, I've never been in a scenario where that's been a thing. I don't think I've ever been in a scenario where I'm eating something and then someone's like, "Oh man, yeah, my diet, man, I can't do it."
I've been in that scenario, but it's never been like a thing that's bothered me because I'm kind of the same way. I do like before, like last year. I pretty much dieted throughout the whole year, and it wasn't anything like just crazy or insane. I just made it a thing to like I intermittent fasted last year, so I only had like 2 meals a day within like a certain time period within 1 hour when I started the meal, and I used to bring that up every now and then whenever I did something. But I always had like a cheat day because that's what you do with a lot of diets. You have like one cheat day. Oh yeah. But like I was never really too like crazy about that. You know, some days I definitely broke it more than once a week. And it doesn't bother me when people say they're on a diet. That's a pretty normal thing, I think, that people do.
Yeah,
so, that doesn't bother me.
That doesn't bother me either. Yeah, that's fine. Be on a diet. Be on a diet, people. You want to be on a diet? Be on a diet. You can tell me all about it right now.
Yeah. Or don't be on a diet. If you don't want to be on a diet, don't be on a diet either. You know, it's all good. Do whatever you want, honestly.
Yeah. You only live once. Just do whatever you like.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob the bank.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. The Cosmic Make podcast does not promote that. Here's another one. People who say "ew" to the food on your plate. So imagine we're at dinner, Echo, you and me. We're at a nice restaurant, okay?
Yes.
And I just ordered the 8-ounce sirloin steak with some mashed potatoes. And then you look over at my plate and you're like, "Ew," and I'm like,
"What?
Echo, I'd be like, what the fuck?" Yeah, I know you probably would be. Okay, then let me switch it. You ordered the fish and chips, and I'm like, "Ew." What? And I actually don't think that I like fish and chips. I should use something different. No, you know what? You ordered coleslaw. I hate coleslaw, and I'm like, "Ew, you're disgusting. How dare you like carrots and cabbage and all that other mush in there?" You know, what would you think? Would that be something that peeves you? Would that be your pet peeve?
No, I think that just made me laugh. I'd be like, okay, more for me.
Okay. I mean,
what about you, Jen, in that scenario? If I was like looking at your beautiful steak with your chips and be like, ugh, steak and chips, would you get annoyed by that?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't, to be honest. The only thing, like, if I was eating a steak and actually, you know what? I'm gonna take this a step further. All right, say when people say "ew" to how you order your steak. Like, Echo, how do you order your steak?
Yeah, you gotta remember in Australia, we just order the steak. We don't ask for medium rare.
No. How does it come out? How does it look?
On a plate. There's vegetables and then some chips.
Inside the steak, how does it
look? Normal. It looks like medium rare, I guess.
Okay. So you would say the overall in Australia is probably medium rare. Like,
yes.
By like the basic way it comes out. Average.
Yes.
Would be medium rare. Okay. And that's how it should be eaten. I will not, I'm all about everyone do whatever you want, but steak, medium rare.
Oh.
There's no rare. Don't do it rare because that's just fucking raw. Don't do it well done because you might as well eat a fucking shoe. It's just medium rare is the only way to go. I'll maybe let you get away with medium.
Damn.
But that's it. Or medium well. whatever, somewhere that has medium in it. But that's the only way to eat it. It has to be a little red. You can't have it fully cooked. You can't have it undercooked. God damn it. That's the one thing. That's a pet peeve of mine. It's a pet peeve. It's a pet peeve.
I could feel that being built up, Jack. I could feel like in your face you get red. You're ready to throw hands and stuff. I was like, whoa.
Because every time I go out to like somewhere to have steak, like a steakhouse, like with my family, I'm the only person that gets it medium rare. My family gets it medium well, I think. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Medium well.
You are just disgraceful. And it's like, why? Why? You know? But yeah, no, steak, I think everyone has an opinion about steak. How do you have your steak cut and all that stuff? But yeah, that's ew to the food. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Where's a good one? Oh, there's one here. Pet peeve 30, and I hate this. I hate this. I'm not saying I hate this as a thing, as like what it's stating. I hate that this is on the list, is what I'm saying. My pet peeve is about this pet peeve list. Slow cashiers. Now, it peeves me that this is on a list about pet peeves.
Why? Because you were a cashier one time.
I mean,
you can relate.
I was never actually a title of a cashier, but I've cashiered, and not even like from my experience, because I was never slow. I was always fast. I was literally one of the best people.
Literally Sonic, just running around.
I was just the best. What can I say?
Okay.
I'm the best. No, I hate that this is on the list, because it's like cashiers don't always have control of like who they get. You know, like you have somebody who has like a full ass cart of stuff, and it's like, yeah, they're going to take longer to do that. They can't control that. Or some people might come up with like, oh, 2 things. And it's like, boom, done. And there may or may not be enough cashiers that day. That happens sometimes. And it's like, you can't control what the cashier like takes as an order.
Yeah, that's,
you know?
that's true.
Yeah, so it's like, I hate that this is on the list, because it's like, it sounds very entitled. Like, oh, I hate slow cashiers. They should hurry the fuck up. But it's like,
Get this. This sounds like the logic. This sounds like the logic one.
Logic,
Again,
exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
This list sounds like it was kind of made by like boomers or something. Here's actually one that I find a little interesting. I want to hear your take on it. When people say they did something on accident.
Well, I think that kind of depends on the scenario. And what it is.
No. Actually, I wanted to see if you would have caught that. So it's not actually about people saying they did something on accident. It's about how the word was said.
Yes, how it was used in what situation. Because there are things where, yes, that was an accident, and there are things was you intended it, and you still said, sorry, it was an accident. You know? Those are the 2 scenarios for me, where it was actually an accident, and where it wasn't an accident, but you still said it was an accident.
Well, I guess that's actually kind of what this means. No. Well, the thing was, the saying isn't you did something on accident, because that would imply that you did it on purpose. It's you did something by accident because you didn't do it on purpose. So the way you say it is the pet peeve, not the actual people doing things on accident, by accident.
I like my one better.
This one was like a grammar thing, basically. It's just like, it's you did something by accident, not on accident. Yeah, it taught you something new there, didn't it?
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah, you think you just blew my mind, boy.
What can I say? It's actually basic language arts class or whatever.
Okay, Jet went to language arts class. Look at that diploma. Wow.
I have a few more here. I think we can get through these pretty quickly, and then we'll probably wrap it up. Let's see here. Repetitive tapping. I think I heard you say something about tapping earlier.
Oh yeah. I mean, this one doesn't really bother me. I may bother you, Jet, but you know when you're on like a bus or like a train, someone's got headphones in. Oh, hang on. Wait a second. This is about to turn into something else. What annoys me on the bus, on the train or something, someone isn't wearing headphones and they're listening to music. That really done goofs me. Because if it's not music I like and it's just a disrespect all surrounding, I am not into it. I will be looking out that window and like literally I will be my cheek will be up against the window and I'll be like, end my suffering. Because everyone on like you know, it's like one of those things where even if you put headphones in and you turn your music up all the way, you can still hear disrespect all around. You know, like I can't even. It's not. If you're listening to music in public, wear headphones. Be considerate of others. It really bothers me when people are just listening to things or they're just watching a movie and the volume is turned up all the way, like as loud as it can be, and everyone can hear it.
And you know what that actually makes me think of?
What?
Because you're so like, have you ever been to like say a Target or you're walking through Target and you see a mother and their kid in the basket, and they're like they have a tablet and they're watching like I don't know Cocomelon whatever, and they have that shit like cranked. They're sitting in there, and like you're just over here looking at the oh look, they got some cool hoodies over here, and then they're walking like in that same area, and all you hear is Cocomelon, boom, 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 whatever the jingle is, and it's like you're subjecting everyone else in the store to listen to fucking Cocomelon just because you want your kid to listen to it while. You know, so they have something to keep their focus off of you.
To stop them crying.
You know, and stop them from crying, which, sure. I don't want to hear your baby crying either. But, like, I also want to hear Cocomelon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying give them headphones because I get, you probably don't want to do that to a kid that's, like, that young.
Yes, he'll just, like, turn them up all the way by accident. He'll be
I heard their hearing. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. But it's also like, I don't want to hear that shit on max. Yeah. If it was on low volume, I would maybe not mind it that much. But I just think it's so annoying when people just like go around thinking like other people don't exist.
Yes, and they're just off in their own world. Yeah, you got to be considerate of others. That's the thing though. See what you said about the Target thing. It bothers me. And it doesn't bother me as much as like a train or a bus because you can't escape the sound. You are locked into that until your journey ends. There is no escaping that sound. If you're in a Target, you'll hear the sound for what? Like maybe like a minute or so in that area, then the person will leave or you will leave. So it's not as bad. I have a little bit more tolerant for that because it's only for a minute. If I'm just randomly shopping, I'm like, oh, Cocomelon. Okay, I guess that mixes up my day. Cocomelon, yeah. Okay, bye, Cocomelon. But if I'm on the bus ride for like an hour or something, and I'm just listening to Cocomelon, it's gonna start getting to me. You know, I'm going to start hallucinating. I'm going to start seeing shit out the window. I'll be like, get me off this bus. I'm over it. So, yeah, be considerate of others, Wear headphones, or just don't, listen at all. Just look at the visuals. Play a game. Have the game on mute. Play Candy Crush. I don't know.
All right, I got 3 more just because I think these are really good.
Oh, yeah?
And I want to just do these. I feel like this one might be something that annoys you or peeves you.
Okay.
People that talk at the movies. You ever been to a movie with somebody and they just like always talk about something or like, oh, this is this, and then just like, shh, there are people around us, or you like you don't say that, but like you're thinking it, so you respond to them in an even more hushed tone. You've done that before?
Oh yeah, there's this one friend of mine. I love him, but he will literally comment on everything that happens on the screen. And I will be like, you son of a bitch. I'm like, I can see it happening. I don't need that. He's like, oh, that guy just got shot. I'm like, he did, didn't he? He's getting up. I'm like, yeah, he is. Oh my God, he got shot again. He's dead. I'm like, I saw that. Yes. Like, I don't normally have problems with like occasionally like in the movie theater, like we lean over and we're just like, I can't believe that just happened. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
And then we lean back, we go back to watch the movie. But having someone comment on everything that's happening on the screen, it really does my head in. Like, that's why every time I go with this friend, I make sure to bring at least 2 other people with me. So just so he can, like, so if he's lonely in the middle, he'll turn to me and be like, I can't believe that happened. Then he'll go back, and then he'll turn to my other friend and say the next thing. And I'm like, okay, I got a little bit of break. Then he goes back over to me again. Like, yeah.
That's funny, because I have, like, the same thing. So I go to the movies a lot with this one specific friend. And I think I talked about her in the last episode, actually. Oh. And
is she watching this right now? Is she listening?
She might be, honestly.
Hi, Jet's friend. Hi.
I hope she is, because this is gonna be funny. So, and she knows this about herself. She knows that she talks during movies, and it doesn't bother me. It's not a pet peeve of mine, but I think it's funny that she does. And I do worry, like the people around us are like, shut the fuck up. you know?
Yeah.
But because like when I'm at a movie, I'm very like focused on the
Oh,
movie.
yeah,
I don't really
me
talk
too,
too
yeah.
much, and I'm literally like I'm just watching the movie. It's like if people weren't there versus if people were there, it probably would make a difference to me because I'm just watching the movie, and we can talk about it afterwards. But yeah, no, she talks about it like she asks questions during the movie, and it's like I'm watching the same movie. I don't know.
Oh my
And
god! Yes, I know
just
exactly what
points
you're
things
talking
out,
about.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and luckily it's not like, and it's like she could be a little quieter, but you know, whatever. But yeah, like it's not a thing that annoys me, honestly.
Oh my god!
But it's a thing that I find funny.
I have a big pet peeve now. This is developing
okay.
into a big pet peeve. So I hate it when people ask me for spoilers of the movie or the show or whatever. And this is a big occurrence whenever I watch Star Wars with someone, you know, just in general. When like sometimes I occasionally have friends over who haven't seen Star Wars, or just watching Star Wars when I haven't seen it before. I'm watching it, you know, having a good time, and then someone
Who hasn't
turns.
seen Star Wars?
I know, right? Nemo. But we're watching. No, but I'm watching Star Wars. You know, I'm having a good time, and then you know, sometimes people will like lean over to me, and I had this one friend when I went to go see The Force Awakens. Remember when The Force Awakens came out, Jet?
I do. I watched in theaters actually.
Yes, and they leaned over to me and they're like, "Is the BB-8 gonna be okay?" And I'm like, I turn to them and I'm like, "I'm watching the same movie you are. How would I know if BB-8's gonna be okay?" And they're just like, "But you know everything about Star Wars. You answer all my questions." And I'm like, "This is a perfect example of a spoiler. Okay, I don't give spoilers, and I don't even know if BB-8's gonna be okay." And it's like, "But I'm really worried about BB-8." I'm like, "What do you want me to do about it? What? I don't know the ending of this movie. We are watching this for the first time," and they're just like, "You're really mean." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I'm watching a movie you're watching. I don't know." And I remember some guy in the back being like, "Hey, quiet." I'm just like, "Sorry, I don't know if BB-8's gonna be okay. We're gonna find out." BB-8 was okay, by the way, everyone. Spoiler alert, BB-8 was okay.
Spoilers. Oh, it's a pet peeve. Okay, so I'm glad we both kind of have the same movie. It wouldn't be, like I said, it's not really a pet peeve of mine, but yeah, it's a thing that I noticed.
Yeah.
Here's one that I think is just funny, considering our recent trip. So this one is standing up at the exact moment the plane gets to the gate. So like you're on the plane and it just lands at the gate, you know, like when everyone's starting to like get off. And it's like the people that stand up immediately as soon as it lands. It's like, "Oh, let's go," you know? Mm-hmm. And so like I did that once on like one flight, but that was because the flight before that one, everyone got up immediately and they were getting out. So I was like, okay, the next one I'll do the same thing. And then I stood and I was like further like in the back. And so I had to wait for everybody else in the front to kind of get up and like, you know, make a line to get out and stuff. And I was just like, I'm not gonna sit back down. That's embarrassing. I'm just gonna stand here this whole time. And then I just found that so funny.
Damn. I mean,
but do you have that?
Yeah. I mean, I remember I've only been on the plane like four times.
Five
yeah,
times?
four times. Four times.
Yeah. Okay, same as me.
With that one
Not
big
total,
trip.
but yeah. Yeah. One big. Yeah. Whew.
Yeah, but no, I didn't. I don't think that really bothered me because it was kind of I was just like I'm still new to the experience, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll just wait." Because I always like my seats were always at the very back, and I had like
mine were too.
Yeah, and I was looking out the window, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? Okay, so we've landed. This is good. Soon I'll be off this plane. I'll wait a little bit. You know, I was like, I'm expecting it's going to take me this 15 minutes to get off this plane, so I'm just going to chillax and finish this movie." You know?
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that didn't really bother me.
All right, very good. All right, the last pet peeve on the list.
Oh yeah.
Now, know-it-alls. Have you ever known a know-it-all, or just somebody who always has to like have information on something, always has to like interject in a conversation if it's a topic that they know something about and they want to just throw in random facts? Have you ever known a person like that?
Yes.
And does it peeve you?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't actually annoy me. It doesn't annoy me.
Right.
I have this one friend who almost seems like he's got knowledge on anything. And the second, you know, it comes in the conversation, he's like, "Oh, I got this interesting fact," you know, and I'm just like, "Okay, very nice." I give him a head pat. Cool.
Give him a head pat.
You know, it doesn't really bother me because I know that I can put myself in that person's shoes because there will be a topic that I'm gonna like be able to do everything that person is doing. You know, like it's
the
like
thing is,
for,
it's
for
like,
you, Jet,
yeah,
it would be Bloodborne or something. You know, like
Okay,
if I
okay.
start talking about Bloodborne, you would jump in with all the facts. You would have the answer. You'd be excited to say them. You know?
Here's the thing though, like I wouldn't just like take it upon myself to like interject in a conversation. Like if I have two people, like you are talking about that with somebody else, and I hear you guys talking about it, I wouldn't like just interject and be like, oh, like that. I'd be
Okay,
like,
well,
oh,
yeah.
you're talking about Bloodborne? Can I join in on this conversation and come in? You know, I wouldn't just like act like I know everything and talk about it so confidently. I would talk about it to the extent of my knowledge and just like, not like I know everything. I would be interested, but I wouldn't just come in there like I wanted to just butt in, I wouldn't do that.
That's fair. I wouldn't do that either.
Yeah.
Unless it was
Unlike
Star
a
Wars,
know-it-all. And that's kind of how I imagine a know-it-all kind of is. Because when
I
I
mean-
think of a know-it-all,
yeah.
I hate that I keep referencing this so many times throughout this episode, but I think of an ex-girlfriend.
Oh, what is that?
Was a know-it-all.
What a surprise.
Yeah. And great. I talked about 4 ex-girlfriends in this podcast now. And I imagine, this person because she always had something to say about something, and she said it with so much confidence and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, she wasn't always right. I remember there was one thing, like there was a time she said something, and it was to a teacher. It was to a teacher. And then they were like, oh, well, actually. And then they actually like said, whatever the answer, what the correct version of whatever they were talking about was. And it was
they
like,
in denial?
get owned. I don't remember, but I could see that. Anyways, but like, know-it-alls just annoy me because they act like they're so cool. They act like they're so smart when it's like you're just being stupid. Stop it. Stop talking like you know everything. You don't. Just because you have a lot of information on some stuff doesn't mean you're a genius. Stop trying to show off.
I mean, I think it doesn't bother me if it's on like one particular topic, but if they seem like they like know everything about every topic ever, then it kind of bothers me because I'm like, there's no way you know everything topic a thing. You just want to seem super smart, And I'm not saying you're super smart, but you don't have to, be like, I know everything about all these topics, every topic that ever existed, like, because I've been in scenarios where, I've talked to someone and then I've mentioned something that someone really likes, like I've been like, oh yeah, Sonic, and then one of my friends would pick up and be like, Sonic. Well, did you know that the Shadow the Hedgehog game came in 2005 and it was first time given a gun? And I'm like, oh yeah, I heard about that one, yeah. Like I've been in scenarios where there's been like those one friends who have a connection with one particular thing that they know about. For me, if Star Wars came up, I would jump as well. I'd be like, oh, what do you want to know?
Yeah, I know you would. You've done that before.
As long as it's not like a situation where someone like claims to know knowledge on everything. Like you talk about Star Wars, they know Star Wars. They talk about Bloodborne, they know Bloodborne. You talk about Dragon Ball Z, they know Dragon Ball Z. Like they know everything. Then I'm just like, get out. Come on, buddy. Come on.
And that's kind of what I'm talking about. And so I'm assuming this. I mean, that literally is what you just said. Like what you just explained. That is a know-it-all. They know, or they act like they know everything, and they want to like show it off like they do. Yeah. If it's somebody just knows something about one particular subject, that's fine. That's cool. It's something you're interested in. I see you're passionate about it. Come in here, join the conversation.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody who always has to just interject their thoughts on a thing or say something about the topic that you're talking about with someone else, and they're not originally in the conversation, then it's like, what are you doing? Don't just butt in here.
What are you doing?
Get out.
Go back to where that came. Go get out of it.
Yeah, go spread your knowledge somewhere else, But
go preach it on the street. Go preach it on the street. Can you just imagine a random guy on the street just spouting random facts about everything?
Yeah. You have something to say? Go make a podcast about it.
Exactly.
All right, that was a lot of pet peeves. A lot of things that we've talked about that we've peeve us off.
Yeah.
Is that the right? How you say it?
Yeah, because we got peed off. I mean, I saw myself being like, oh, I'm getting a little peed off, and then Jen, I saw you getting a little bit peed off. Sometimes topics, they just they pay you off, like this topic.
Yeah. But I hope y'all, you listeners, can relate to some of these things.
Yeah, you should tell us. Maybe they should tell us.
Yes, tell
peeves.
us.
Yeah, tell us what your pet peeves
yes,
are.
Please. Yes, go to Twitter. Or, tweet at us.
Is this
Cosmic
podcast
Wave
a pet
Pod.
peeve of yours? I don't know. I want to hear about it.
Is your pet peeve to newbie podcasters that don't know what they're doing? If it is, this is the right podcast for you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. You know what my last pet peeve is, Echo?
Oh, what's that?
People who don't follow this podcast on any
my
listening
God.
platform that they're currently listening on.
When they listen
aren't
to the
you
entire
following?
thing and they don't follow, guys, come on. You gave us a
what
chance.
the
Give us
heck?
one more. We'll impress you, I
exactly.
promise.
I'm sure you'll love next week's episode, whatever that may be.
Yes.
It'll be great because we are.
We have a plan. We have a plan.
That's not at all what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
All
Sorry,
right,
go.
Dutch. Are you Dutch? I got a plan.
I got a goddamn plan.
I got a plan. We're going to Tahiti. I got a plan.
Got a plan. Australia. Going to Australia. He said that at one point.
Oh yeah, he did actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
Should've come
Red
to
Dead 2. I
Australia.
love that game.
I love it too, Jet. That should
All
be a
right.
topic one
Well,
time.
what?
That should be a topic one time. Red Dead Redemption, the franchise.
That could take a long time, but maybe if you guys want to hear it, tweet at us or
Yeah.
whatever. Let us know.
You guys have the power.
Hashtag Cosmic Wave. Yeah. And at Cosmic Wave Pod. We didn't plug the Twitter last episode.
Oh,
We didn't give any socials at all at the end of it, and I was like, oh.
well, that's
my.
okay. We're getting the hang of it because guess what, folks?
exactly.
You can catch me and Jet both on Twitter and YouTube. Jet is at Addict. Jet Addict. Don't forget the Jet in there.
What the hell?
Jet's not an addict, but when you add the Jet, then it becomes Jet Addict. Jet Addict, you can check him out on Twitter. You can check him out on YouTube. And then for me, at Echo Force Gaming, you can catch me out on Twitter. You can catch me out on YouTube. You can catch me out on Twitch. You can catch me out on the works. We both also have TikToks and all this other stuff. Just Google us. You'll find out. And of course, if you're interested in learning more about the podcast, you can follow us on Spotify, YouTube, and of course, Twitter for updates. And whatever other platforms we launch this on, right, Jet?
Yes, most listening platforms.
Yeah.
Whatever you're listening to this on right now, just hit the follow button or subscribe or
Do
whatever
it.
it is on your
Do it.
whatever you're listening on. Just do it. Just
do
do
it.
it. Yeah, literally just do it. Come on, yeah. Wow, you did really good at the outro. I'll let you finish it. I'll let you
Okay.
finish the outro. Go ahead.
Yeah, as I said, folks, give us a follow, give us a subscribe or a like. We really appreciate it. And we will see you all in the next Cosmic Wave. Stay cosmic.